Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. I'm actually joined today with Harrison Mack from Texas Home Improvement. Harrison, thanks for having us in your office.
No problem.
Spot. Now, I wanted to take a few minutes of your time to ask you a few questions about THI, yourself, your team as a whole, just to hopefully educate homeowners on what they might not know. I'd love to start off. First of all, who are you? What do you do? And let's just start there.
My name is Harrison Mack.
Sure.
I am the General Sales Manager here at Texas Home Improvement. And on a daily basis, we just work on different strategies to help out homeowners in the field. We're on job sites every day, but we're also talking to new faces, trying to help them out with the issues they have on their home with the solutions that we provide.
Got it. Any specific products that you guys specialize in?
We specialize in roofing, windows, patio covers, siding, and a specific exterior coating called Cool Wall, and then we also do foundations. There's a few other things that we do underneath each one of those product umbrellas, but those are the 5 major things that we specialize in.
Amazing. Now, if you had to pick one, I know you said you do like 5 or 6 different things. If you had to pick one thing that you believe you're most known for, what would you think? What would you put that as?
It would be our exterior coating and our siding.
Okay.
Most notably, we use Hardie board. We use a lot of different kind of materials, but the most popular one we're using is changing what homeowners currently have into a Hardie board siding. It's a concrete composite material, and then what we put on top of that is an exterior coating called Cool Wall, where you only have to do the exterior of your home once and you're done with a lifetime warranty on the backside.
For the audience who may not be as aware of these products, right? The main attractive or the main selling point of these Hardie board, is it how long it lasts, or what would you say is its main selling point?
Durability, for sure. Dexterity. It can handle a lot of different high winds. It's any kind of debris in the
Fluctuations
air.
and
Yeah,
temperature.
but temperature, it handles that. There's a specific name for Hardie board for this climate. It's called HC10.
Okay.
They make another one that's specifically for the northern climates, but Hardie has one specifically for Texas, Alabama, Missouri, Florida, the hotter, more humid climates. So by using that material right away, you have a better shot.
Bit of a curveball.
Sure.
What's something people either misunderstand about contractors or should be more aware of?
I think it's who they're speaking to and who they're getting into business with. Most commonly, you'll see folks have 10, 15-minute interactions with people that they're trying to hire. And then a lot of the questions that they need answers come from either an email chain or hopefully, they speak again before the project starts. But a lot of times it happens too late, where if it's a roof, the roof's already off the house, and then the issues arise, and then there becomes a dispute. Or with the siding project, same thing, the walls come off, and then the questions arise that weren't talked about before. So I think a lot of people think that if you talk to somebody for 5 to 10 minutes and you get a cheap quote, that will turn into great results. And more times than not, it's actually a disaster.
How do you guys differentiate from that?
What we do specifically, each appointment we speak to homeowners who are there. We walk them around the property, inspecting the product that we're there to help them with. We also give them a demonstration about who we are specifically as a company. We show them the products we use and the methods that we use to prepare the home and continue the home into that installation process. And we actually generate a price for them on the spot that day, which is not a very common practice. Most of the time it's a call you back or an email later. We do everything right in front of the homeowner that day. That way we can answer any specific questions they have or they may generally have about how the process will go. But we tailor our entire presentation to answer any questions that the homeowner may have before they even have it themselves.
What's the most, I know you mentioned people spend too little time with their contractors, right?
Sure.
Do you think that's more on the homeowner side where they want to think about the roof because they don't look at it? Or is it the contractors who are just trying to go to the next appointment?
I would say it's not the most exciting conversation to have. Anybody that owns a home, talking about what you haven't done to it or what you need to do to it at some point can get frustrating because it makes the homeowner feel like, oh, I haven't done anything, you're pointing this out, you're judging me or something like that. But I think they hope it's a short process, they hope it's cheap, and they hope we can do it quickly. But what we're just trying to provide is expertise, clarity, but more importantly, open communication, which is not common in this industry. So people appreciate that, but that's what I would say.
How long has it been in Dallas?
Been about 15 years. I was actually up at that location ever since I was in college, and then I worked for them briefly afterwards, and then I've moved down here into the Austin location.
I've been meaning to ask you this. What are the signs that people will notice in their house that should declare I need to reach out to THI about this?
Well, an obvious one, if your roof's leaking and it's coming into the ceiling of your house, that's a good place to start.
Sure.
If it's foundation, if you've got cracks at any hard corner of a wall, your chimney areas, your garage trim, separating on the exterior, stair step brick cracks, diagonal formation typically. If any of the corners of your foundation on the outside of your walls are starting to bust out, that may not initially mean it's moving aggressively, but it's the beginning signs.
Sure.
Your floor seems like you're walking uphill or downhill in an area where it shouldn't be. As it pertains to the siding, it's going to be moisture. If you see any swelling or splitting or decay of that material, maybe more so than when you first initially bought the home. So you've seen something get worse. Any algae growth, staining, if your nails are pushing out of the siding, just signs that something looks older or more damaged than what you know it to be. That's a good place to start. Windows, also, if you have moisture in between panes, if you have a double pane. If you have a single pane window, that's immediately already, you should just think about getting new windows. You can't protect the home from heat or even drafting that way. Security as well, that can be broken and shattered in seconds. Patio covers, if you've got a wooden pergola, again, algae, is the water damaging it? Is it still upright? Did it fall over in the wind? If you don't have one, what could the space be? And what could you do with it if you had a cover there? Those are all things I think would work.
Got it. You said something which I'd love to dive deeper in, because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but most homeowners don't really think about, it's pretty boring, their foundation, right? Why do you think that is? What are the misconceptions around foundation that people just either don't seem to understand or maybe deflect reality? I don't know.
I'd say the process is pretty dirty, just the amount of digging you have to do, the noise. It's a very invasive project, but I don't think there's a stigma around it. I just don't think that it has the visual representation of a brand new roof or painting. So no one really thinks about it. There's no ta-da, there's no picture moment at the end. It's just a peace of mind. But if you can't see the signs outside or inside, most people don't think about it. You think about the roof because you see it when you drive in your house. You look at your old kitchen cabinets because you cook in the kitchen every day. Or you're sitting in your living room and you need a new couch because you don't like it. If you interact with something every day, you're more likely to do something about it or think about wanting to change it. With foundation, as long as the expert or the inspector of the home told you it's fine, you just assume, and most homeowners I would believe assume that it's just going to be fine the entire time they're there. In most cases it's not.
Okay. I'd love to know, what are the signs of a good contractor?
Number one, communication. I feel like that's a huge lacking quality. Who they use to do the work. Not everybody has the same crew that works on said project every time. It may be a different person, a part of a different company, or they're just affiliated with themselves and they're used by a lot of different people. What kind of materials you use, and also how long it takes you to start and also complete a project, I would say.
How much because you said something which piqued my interest, which is the materials they use, right? I'm a homeowner and I want to bring, somebody to fix my house. Where do I start? Because obviously the people who are coming to my house, there's always going to be a bias, right? Or there's going to be some sort of intent, which is completely normal. But as a homeowner, where would you suggest they start doing research if they want to find out what are the best materials? Who is the best company to help me with a specific project? Do you have a specific direction to point them in?
You can go to different websites, different manufacturers that make their products. You can go on the James Hardie website. You can go on an LP Smart Siding website. You can go on manufacturers of vinyl siding websites. You can go on different roofing, GAF, Tamco, Owens Corning. There's a lot of large names in this space. You can specifically look at those websites. Obviously, you can look at different consumer reports, but it really depends on what you're looking at to go on the internet and type in what the best product is for this reason. But then it's going to change just a little bit when you speak to different companies that operate with different products. So some people want to go metal, some people want to go the clay tile, terracotta, the clay tiles. It just depends on what you're looking for. Some people want more of an aesthetic, some people want more function. There are companies that can merge the two, but again, aesthetic is tough because it's preference based.
You said something earlier, which is price can be a pretty big, obviously, I won't say motivator, but can be a pretty big decision factor. And I think you'd agree that a lot of people just tend to default to just cheapest option, right? Is that the best way of going about it? And if not, why? What are the dangers of just going with the cheapest out there?
A lot of the reasons that we had mentioned earlier. Very short initial meeting, not a lot of communication, the possibility of too many unanswered questions popping up at the wrong times where you don't really have much of a choice. Generally, the less you pay, the less options you have, but also, you know, the possibility of good work is far lower. Because if you're paying someone 10 grand to do a brand new roof that's, let's say, 30 squares,
sure,
you know, it's very hard to say you're going to get the best materials for that price.
they're cutting corners somewhere.
So, well, you have to make it up. Who's
Yeah.
paying the crews? How much are they
Fair.
paying the crews? I mean, what materials are they going to use? If they're going to tell you you're going to get the best, they may give you the worst because the money doesn't add up, or they have to make it up somewhere else.
Yeah.
So if they tear the roof off, they see decking that's damaged, there may be another conversation.
Got it.
Hey, you didn't tell me this. I need this amount more, otherwise I'm not finishing the job. You see that pretty commonly.
Okay. Any final messages? Anything you want the audience to know? Whatever you want. Anything specific you want to leave them with? Could be like a 30-second, 45-second elevator pitch. Call it.
When you hire THI to do work on your house, we go into business together. Our whole philosophy is that you're a part of the team, you're a part of the family, because we are family owned and family operated, but at no point during the process will you feel like we aren't communicating with you. You don't know everything that's going on the property, but more importantly, you know exactly who's going to be there, what time, what we're using, and what the pathway is to get to the finish line. And at the end of the day, we want to impress you so much that you use us for many other different products, because it's much easier to work with one great company for everything than calling 100 people to do a bunch of different projects. So when you hire us, we work together to get to an end goal of quality work and satisfy customers.